fall. Fly safe. See you soon.
刺激的な最上だ。いつものようにいじめ。遊びをしないでくれ。邪魔を許してくれ。Zip line for you. Armor lock open. 俺に任せてください。俺が腕前おい紹介したい友達が今彼は元気を失ってしまう不難だ
Restock now. Pod is open. Your armor is looking a little compromised. Maybe repair it.
เอาละบั๊กนี้แล้วอ๋อตายแล้วบั๊กรีโหลดไม่ได้เนี่ยตอนใช้ดาบคู่เนี่ยคือผมแม่งวางต่อยาไม่ได้เลยเว้ยบั๊กที่โหลดเนี่ย กดรีโหลดดาบปุ๊บฝนฟันไม่ได้เลยอะปืนอื่นก็เป็นปักก็ยังไม่แก้กลับมาเล่น Killing Floor 2ไหมครับหรือไม่แล้วก็ผมก็กลับไปเล่น Killing Floor 2เรื่อยๆอยู่นะช่วงนี้ก็ยังเล่นอยู่นะถ้าแบบผมเบื่อภาค3แล้วอะแต่นะขอลองเลยหน่อยอ่ะดาวกระจายผมก็ไม่ได้ว่ะมันบั๊กปาไม่ได้เลยพอบั๊กดาบปุ๊บอาวุธอื่นเป็นปั๊บเป็นเหมือนกันใช้ได้แค่อาวุธฟันอะตอนนี้ลาก่อยเว็บบอสชั้นคุณนายโดนเนิร์ฟใช่ปะผมลองก่อนโดนเนิร์ฟจริงด้วยฟันไม่ไวเหมือนเมื่อก่อนแล้ว บอสล่วง โอเคผมมีปัญหาเวลาผมโซโล่ด่านแคบเล่นด่านการซิงเกอร์เล่นการซิงเกอร์โดนล้อมบ่อยโอ้เริ่มปกติครับให้เดานะคุณเล่นด่านเนเธอร์แลมใช่ไหมนั่นเนเธอร์แลมมันแคบสุดแล้วก็อีกหลายด่านเริ่มปกติเลยครับเล่นการสลิงแพ้ทางแคบแต่ถ้าเล่นจริงๆก็หาซื้อปืนที่มันทำสเปรดดาเมจอะอย่างเช่น PG Winter Bite ฮะปืนน้ำแข็งคู่อะเวลาโดนลุมก็เอามาสแปมกันได้อยู่มาได้ดีครับอ๋อ containment station containment ก็ทางแคบเพราะถ้าเราเล่น containment แบบหลายคนง่ายแค่แบบแคมป์ตรงกลางแล้วดูสองทางคนเดียวก็จะแบบมึนหัวหน่อยอ่ะต้องดูแบบหน้าหลังด้วยก็เดี๋ยวคิงฟอร์3เขาจะสตรีมแล้วให้วัสดุแคนสต็อปเกฟวัสดุดาวกระจายมันนับเป็นเมเลปะเก็บไว้ก่อนเวลาเราปาเมจคือผมคิดว่าก่อนจะไปเล่นทีต้องโซโล่ให้รอดก่อนครับถามว่าจะเป็นไหม50-50อ่ะคุณมันก็ดีแหละที่คุณซ้อมเผื่อแบบเอาโซโล่ให้เซียนก่อนแล้วค่อยไปเล่นมัลติเพลเยอร์เพื่อเสริมความมั่นใจแต่คุณอย่าลืมดิว่าเพื่อนบางคนเขาก็แบกได้อะแบกคุณได้อะคุณไม่ต้องห่วงหรอกถ้าคุณไม่มั่นใจก็ตามนั้นฮะฝึกไหวพริบอะไรพวกเนี้ยเวลาโดนผีล้อมอะไรเงี้ยก็ลองฝึกบ่อยๆดูครับจริงๆการซิงเกอร์มันโอพีสุดแต่ว่ามันก็ต้องใช้ฝีมืออะใส่เนี่ยใช้ฝีมือในการแบบยิงให้แม่นแล้วก็ดีเฟกต์ให้ไวโอเคเอาเป็นว่าผมนั่งรอKilling Floor 3แล้วกันนะเดี๋ยวอีก15 นาทีก็จะมาแล้วน่าจะอีก15 นาทีน่าจะเล่นอีกสตาร์หนึ่งมั้ง ควสอะไรที่ยังทำไม่เสร็จไหมเควสรีละเควสรีตอนทุก7 โมงเช้าสติ๊กดาเมจเอมดาวไซด์ R&D แบบเพชรพาวไฟบักเก็ตเจ็ตไปอีกแล้วเหรอ
Hop on, team. We're flying out. Travel safe, team.
I'm not the cleanest person myself, but this just takes it to a whole new level. Turrets up. Armor here if you need it. Still on top of my shit. Give me some space. I need to reload. Can someone get poison control on the line?
That's half of them.
See you later, alligator. This is a fire, not a drill. That got messy. Ah, yes. This is a nice backpack, though.
Can find a new day PAX Steam. Wait, it's like in 10 minutes. Yeah, in 10 minutes. You can watch Steam by you can watch in TY channel on YouTube or Twitch. Why interactive? Oh. Some packs you search this. Probably in 10 minutes.
Looks like you need some ammo.
Yeah, sure.ได้ยินว่าสายไปบัก OP สุดในคิงฟอร์3จริงไหมครับ จริงครับสายไปบักกับคอมมานโดอะพอๆกันเลยอะ OP สุดนะตอนนี้ I can watch here if you want. Nah, I mean, I gonna speak some not your language, you might not understand. So probably you can go check out in English channel.
So intrusive.
But anyway, if you stay
Turn up the
in
temperature.
chat with me, gonna talk in English if you ดูแชทแตไปบักกันแล้วเล่นลูกซองหัวระเบิดไม่เชื่อ
25% down, guys. Keep up the pace.
Okay, it's all good now. Fire away. You're done.
This feels like that time I ate undercooked buffalo wings.
Keep it up.
Kisses. Shut up.
That's it for now.
มันโอพีไงเกมตัวใหญ่เก่งหรอครับ ใช่ครับแม่งได้ทุกตัวเลยครับที่จริงมันโอพีเพราะวูแคนด้วยแหละ
Stay sharp.
ผมเล่นให้ดูเลยไอ้ปืน
Ooh, I've got it.
ปืนเนี้ยจับตาจับตูดดูให้ดีฮะ
Yeah.
แค่คุณแบบสแปมยิงใส่อีซี่
Oh, nasty. We now have
ใช่ครับทั้งตัวใหญ่เลยบอสด้วยฮะ
shortcut.
ยิ่งเราเจอบอสควีนคาวเวอร์อีซี่เลยเจอไฟบัคอะแพ้ไฟไงบอสอะเอาดาเมจแรง
Beds inbound.
after the CRB if you don't understand it I don't alright that's okay I mean I can understand English but I barely talk English you know
Beep, beep, beep.
So-
Gotta get up.
any word English I understand but you know I can talk too much
Fire beats
English
fire
because I don't know
You gotta know that.
I barely speaking English สามดอกมาเมื่อกี้เซตพาวอะ
Fantastic effort all around. Flesh pounds down.
Ground might be a little slippery, guys.
We're off to a good start.
Kinda left me no choice there. We're done here.
ปึ๊บสแปมโอเคแขนขาดแล้วแป๊บเดียว
You are a shame to the profession, sir.
ร่วงเนี่ยประมาณนี้เลยฮะแค่คุณนั่งสแปมใส่ อะไรก็ง่ายขึ้นเยอะ
Halfway done. Keep the pressure
โดนเนื้อ
on.
ไม่นอนนะปืนเนี้ยโอ้โห
Let's fight fire with fire.
ปั๊ม
Quiet down. Bye bye. Hey, don't fight my gimmick. Shit and die.
It'd be super embarrassing to vomit right now.
You can miss the thing they talk so fast. Oh yeah, that's right.
Seems empty to
You're right.
me.
Sometimes I miss some information when they talk so fast. Oh yeah. You care so you like app to translate. Yeah. I use in YouTube. I don't know about Twitch.
Oh, get over yourself.
Stand back.
Anyway,
This could get dangerous.
thanks for advice.
Can't see a thing. Meet the newest member of the team. Click, and it's done. Don't know about the rest of you, but I can use a breather. Got the
ก็
turret
จะมาแล้ว
going.
มั้งเฮ้ยที่ไว้สตรีมแล้วว่ะโอเคดูเลยแล้วกันเอาช่องนี้แหละช่องทางการนี่แหละจริงๆผมว่าจะดูใน YouTube เพื่อดูทรานสเลทด้วยแต่ว่าไม่ดีกว่าเอาแบบสดๆอย่างนี้แหละบอกก่อนนะอย่างเถื่อน บอกแล้วตอนนี้มันจริงๆช้ามันควรจะ OP อะเรื่องดาเมจอะมันไม่ควรไปไฟบักเว้ยรอเขาเนิร์ฟแหละมาแล้ววะ
It's my giant face up there. I'm sorry.
think we're starting.
Are you though? Hello, everyone. It looks like we are getting started. So, first of all, thank you everyone for joining us here for our Killing Floor 3 PAX West panel.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, thank you once again for joining us. Thank you for playing the game. Thank you for giving us your feedback. And kind of
สวัสดีครับคุณนายกนินาสวัสดีครับ
part of that process, we want to
ไม่เจอกันนานเลยนะเป็นไงบ้างคุณ
what's coming next in Killing Floor 3. And that is why this panel's named The Road to More Guns, Gore, and Gadgets. So I'm one of your hosts, Senior Community Manager Jared Creasy, and I will be helping us share that experience with you today. And I am joined by some wonderfully fantastic people like Brian.
Hey, guys. I'm Brian Wanya. I'm Tripwire Studio Creative Director. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, I'm Misty Bacchus. I'm the lead environment artist at Tripwire.
Hi everyone, I'm Trenton Mendoza, the Senior Marketing Manager here at Tripwire. So we're super excited to show you what's coming up.
ไม่ได้จอย Killing Floor 3ด้วยกันเลยเห็นอยู่ฮะ
So you have already probably seen our year one roadmap, and that's going to be important here because we're diving a little bit deeper.
เดี๋ยวค่อยมาเล่นด้วยกันได้ฮะ
These sections, starting with the rearmament
มันเซิร์ฟมันเน่าด้วย
for you in the very near future this fall, season 2 as it comes later this year, and then we will start diving into the never before seen 2026. So
Yeah, there's gonna be spoilers.
People who have followed Tripwire, in our games before, we like making new content for years to come, and Killing Floor 3 is no different on that front. And Brian has promised me he's not going to break any NDAs this time.
I'm breaking every NDA. I'm definitely going to get in trouble with someone. I see there's like marketing people at Tripwire in the back with like blow darts in case I get too out of hand. But yeah, we got a bunch of cool shit we're going to show you guys. So I say we just jump right in.
Yeah, so Brian, why is this image so important to our players?
ว้าวแยกเปิร์ออกจากตัวละครครับทุกคนผมบอกว่าผู้ชมหลายคนที่หัวเสียกับเรื่องเปิร์ผูกกับตัวละครเนี่ยน่าจะเรียบร้อยแล้วแต่ผมสงสัยเรื่องแกดเจ็ตอย่างเดียวอะถ้าเขาแยกเปิร์ออกจากตัวละครน่ะคือสกิลแกดเจ็ตจะเอาไงผมอยากรู้เรื่องนี้แหละ
You're this unique individual who is completely well equipped to fight Zeds, even though you're barely surviving. You need to work together as a team. And then you have your perk. So what you see here is this is a team full of Mr. Fosters. They all have the different cosmetics that are currently available in game. And then you see that perk icon above them. So currently there is a build at Tripwire that we are iterating and working on where any specialist can pick any perk. You also notice they all have their own unique poses. So when you play the game and you pick Commando, it'll show you a different pose. It'll show you that different base weapon. So that feedback, we have very much heard it. The team has been hard at work at getting it in game. And in fact, let's just show you. It's one thing to show you an image. Let me show you what it looks like to actually do it in game now.
อยากดูอะมันเป็นยังไง
At this point, you're in the stronghold. You've picked the
เอาว่ะแยกแล้วว่ะ
You're going to see a new perk icon tab.
อ๋อแกดเจ็ตยังผูกอยู่นะยังผูกกับเปิร์กอยู่อะ
It's going to highlight the gadget you're using.
ฟอร์เตอร์ใช้ฮุกได้แล้วอะ
And then also where you are at with leveling that perk. So I want to say a massive thank you for your guys' feedback. I want to say a massive thank you to the team at Tripwire for working on this.
โอเคอันนี้อย่างนึงละโอเคแสดงว่าสกิลยังเหมือนเดิม
So Brian, one of the
Gadget
things
ยัง
that
ผูกกับ
came
เปิร์ก
up
เหมือนเดิม
in our last panel is how are gadgets going to be handled?
Yes.
ฟอร์เตอร์ใช้
Yeah. Let's go into some detail about that. So if you guys have been playing the game, you know that every perk has a unique gadget that is assigned for it. So this is our Commandos gadget. This one was pretty easy to kind of make sure it's continuing working the same way. Originally, the Commando would reach down, throw it up in the air, and it would start to auto-target enemies and fire upon them. That's still working the same way. So if you love that, you're good. Same goes with the Engineer. This one was pretty straightforward. Now, originally, when we had Imran basically as the engineer, and he has that whole bio or kind of the mechanical
ใช่
suit on
กูจะดูว่าฟอร์เตอร์เล่นเป็นสายเอนจิเนียร์ มันจะแบกอย่างนี้ไปปะ
So now, any
อยากเห็นเกมเพลย์มันอะ
plays of the engineer, when you fire off that, we call it the oh shit button internally. When you're backed up against the kind of walls and need to kill as many Zeds as possible, just mash that button, pull it out, and you'll be able to use it. And then the same goes for the medics, right? Pretty straightforward. We didn't have to do any massive changes on it. But then you get into certain gadgets where you look at like the firebug and it becomes a little bit more unique. So our concept team, our design team, they worked really hard with the character art team to basically find a way to make it where the firebug gadget can now easily be used for anyone. So when you fire off that gadget, basically you're going to kind of reach, pull up this shield and deploy it, and it acts exactly the way that it currently acts in game now, but it just has a different visual treatment for that, right? Now, if you guys really enjoy playing as Devlin and you want to use that gadget, it'll still work that way in game now for her. But once again, if you want to be a commando, you're
ไอ้นี่เวลเดอร์
that
ปะเนี่ย
gadget. If you're wanting to be
ใช่ปะ
firebug, you're going to use that.
อันนี้ผมไม่เคยเห็นในเกมเลยอะ
Now let's talk a little bit about the sharpshooter. So I'm a sharpshooter main. This one was really special to me. And originally when you played it, it was kind of like this forearm mounted version of it. We wanted to attack this process in a creative way, where how would Nightfall handle this challenge? Cordelia, the leader of Nightfall, how would she go to the team and be like, I want any specialist to be able to use any perk? How do we do that? So she would employ Imran. If you look at his background as like an engineer, he likes to tinker, he likes to build things. Those of you that have played the game, you'll probably recognize parts of this gadget. It's actually utilizing the multi-tool. It's utilizing the actual sharpshooter gadget. So he's kind of MacGyvered it together.
อ๋อไม่น่าใช่เวลเดอร์อันนี้
You know who MacGyver is. It was an awesome show. Check it out. But now you have that ability.
น่าเป็นอาวุธใหม่
Any specialist could play as a sharpshooter perk if they'd like to. And this is what that gadget looks like. And we applied that same mindset then to the ninja as well. One thing that
อ๋อนี่คือแกดเจ็ตของ sharpshooter
these act the exact same way gameplay wise as
เพราะปกติอะถ้าตอนเนี้ย sharpshooter เป็นของลูน่ามันจะมีแขนตอนยิงมิสไซล์แต่ถ้าแบบเขาแยกเปิร์กออกจากตัวละครแล้วสมมุติเล่นฟอร์เตอร์แล้วเล่น sharpshooter อย่างเงี้ยอันนี้คือ gadget
very quick. So we have to do these big animations so that they read really quickly. So this
อันนี้ gadget ของ Ninja
goes horizontally. So just you have these different VFX, you have these different animations, all of these different things to help communicate to you as a player what you're doing in the game.
Now, Brian, I'm sure players also want some new cool toys to play with as well.
Oh, I think we've got some stuff. We have some new weapons.
อุ้ย
right?
อาวุธใหม่ครับ
This was another big bit of feedback that our team
M14
really focused on, and it was
สองแฝด
creating some real-world guns as well. This is something that we've had planned for a really long time. One of our goals at the beginning of Killing Floor 3 was creating a series of guns that could only be found in Killing Floor 3. And now that we're past the launch, it's introducing some of your favorite guns from the previous games in the series to also introducing brand new guns that have never been in the game before but are still based on real-world weapons. So let's go ahead and just give you a little glimpse of what some of these new guns are.
โอ้ยเนี่ยนี่ไงผมว่าซองแฝด4รู
This video was made by a lot of people.
2รูได้4รูก็ได้
I really want to point out our capture artist Thiago.
M14 ดำแม็ก
Presenting our animation and our modeling team's work at showing these new weapons, the new mods, some of the shared mods that are already in game with it, and just what these weapon checks look like, what our reloads look like. They've spent a lot of time and a lot of love at making the best versions of those guns for our game.
So,
มอดแต่งมันมีมอดแต่งที่เป็นโหมดเป็น full auto ได้น่าสนใจ
Yes. So once again,
Full auto M14 อ่ะน่าสนใจฮะ
M14. I would love to say there was a bunch of rad data on why we
Match
picked
Gate
M14. Yes,
กระสุน
it was a
armor
game
piercing
by
เหมือน
rule
เดิม
I'm
Match Gate
obsessed
ของ
with
ใหม่
this weapon. It just feels
Fire
really
attack
good to
suppressor
pop Zed's heads with it. I will note, if you guys watch the video, you're going to notice a slightly different sound with headshots in the game. Our audio team has also been very busy. So using this gun, hearing it fire, and then hearing a Zed's head pop, it works. I know a lot of you guys are going to clip this online. So if you see this, here are your kind of notes. Everything that is red in this list are new mods. Anything that is white, those are current mods that are in-game that can be shared with this, all right? So you have everything from like a new type of suppressor that can be used for the M14 that's very much modeled on a real-world gun. But then you have also things like a receiver where that mod allows you to fire this gun in full auto, which is pretty insane.
a little bit of rock and roll.
Yes. Now this, if you're a commando, I think you're going to really enjoy this one. And this was
อ๋อชื่อปืน MKR 350
request is some sort of AK variant. This gun is awesome on full auto.
ดูแม็กอ๋อโอเคดูแม็กก็คือไอ้แมกกาซีนที่มันติดกันอะ2แม็กอะว้าว
Commando mains. I
In
think
dot
you'll
side
enjoy
mod.
this one. But also, you can still off perk. So if you're playing as a ninja and you need
โอ้โห
something to
เขียว
handle a larger group of Zeds, feel free to grab this guy.
ได้ใช้ปืนจริงๆสักทีไว้
Okay.
รอบนี้แหละ
I know I said I like the M14 a lot. This thing is friggin' insane. All right, let's just point this out. If you
ซองแฝ
go
ด
to the mods that are new and you see
ซอง
your
แฝดสามารถแต่งแบบ
barrel, very solid.
เพิ่ม
Do you
เพิ่ม
guys
เลย
see
นะ
where
เพิ่
it
ม
says
เขาเรียก
quad barrel?
เรียกว่าปากกระบอกปืนปะ
If
เพิ่ม
you
ความยาว
watch
มันอะ
that video, there's like this weapon
เพิ่ม
shot
บาเรล
where you kinda
ความยาว
drag your
แล้วก็
thumb across
ซองแฝด
the
4 รู
shells. That quad barrel, if we were to like that were a real thing and we were to fire it, I'm pretty sure we would just like break our shoulders and wrists and all that. It is insane. One of the things that I really want to point out too is our weapon team have done some fantastic, really subtle details here. So this combination of like really refined animations, really refined models. One of our weapon artists, Ben, each one of those, like the extended barrel, the standard barrel on it, the quad barrel, they all have different engravings on them. So not only are they different barrel lengths and they have different gameplay elements to them, but even just the fidelity in the textures and engravings to them, just a lot of attention has been put to them.
So I do need to do my due diligence and point out all the models you've seen today and will see today are a work in progress and everything is subject to change as development continues.
Yep.
But having said that, Brian, can we show it to them in action?
Yeah, let's just show them how it works, right? It's one thing to hear us talk about it. Let's just show it to you.
ดูสิ
Who doesn't like a boomstick?
This part gets pretty crazy. Watching Thiago play our game just makes me realize how skillful he is at the game because he always ends up making it look like a movie.
ผมว่าเสียงหนักแน่นอยู่นะนี่
So
Gadget
once again, even there, like you see, that is Mr. Foster playing as the ninja, using that gadget and utilizing those new weapons. So this is a combination of all the things that we just spoke about, from any specialist playing as any perk and then utilizing those new guns. Dude, that thing is a headshot machine, so please enjoy it. Once again, Mr. Foster using the sharpshooter gadget there, using the new AK, and then utilizing a variety of different mods on top of it.
ก็โอเคนะผมว่า
I love that.
ได้อยู่
The animation team did some awesome work checking that one out.
I love watching Zed get popped in half.
Yeah, there's quite
แต่ผมรู้สึกว่า M14 เสียงมันไม่ค่อยแน่นเท่าไหร่อะ
The dual defender
หรือ
literally
เสียง
just
เป็นอย่างนั้นอยู่แล้ววะเสียง
if
ปืนมัน
you're close enough, it just cuts it in half.
แต่ผมชอบซองแฝดมากเลยเมื่อกี้เนี่ย
Just rips it in
เสียงมัน
two.
หนักแน่นดี
Then you get to see the joy of physics.
Awesome.
So, not only are you getting new weapons, not only are you getting perk and character decoupling, we are working on a lot of balance updates for the game. We have over 75 major balance changes coming, including movement combat, adding in, stomping down on crawlers and killing them, which we know was a big favorite from KF2 coming back. We're making adjustments to scopes. Most of this is based on your player
ของ
feedback.
แต่งดูดีเลย
as well
เขา
as
แต่ง
what
ดู
we're
ดีฮะ
seeing
ดู
in
ดี
the
มาก
wild. Some balance changes won't be waiting so long for the fall update and may be coming in some of our upcoming hot fixes.
We see you grinding on the Vulcan.
อันนี้ปรับอาวุธใหม่เรื่องรีคอยล์แล้วก็ให้รู้สึกว่ามันดูแบบสมจริงขึ้น อย่างแรก มอดอาวุธก็รีคอยล์สเปนรีมอดอาชิปเปอร์
skills, mods, things like that, so that like the biomorphic projector right now, it needs a bit of a buff, right, for it to be a more
ปรับ
viable
ปรุง
thing.
สไนเปอร์
So
ส
our
โคป
design
ใหม่
team
ปรับ
is
ปรุง
putting a lot of work
มอด
and effort
เกี่ยวกับรีคอยล์แล้วก็
making sure that
ไอ้
these things are great options
มอด
for this, these things are great
การ
options
กระ
for
จาย
that,
ของ
and then yeah, like
ของ
we
อาวุธปืน
watch your guys'
Movement
videos,
combat
we read your comments online,
ปรับ
and
ใหม่
there are certain things that need to be balanced, like the Vulcan, so we're working on those for you.
สามารถเหยียบหัว cover ได้ Stacking set form above stacking them with momentum ปรับ momentum ใหม่น่าสนใจมันควรจะโดดเหยียบหัว cover ได้นานแล้วอะนี่ดี
we had a
ดีมาก
version of this where I asked for
เพราะตอนเล่นนะผมติดมุมกับ cover ทุกตาเลยอะ โดดออกไม่ได้
We're just going over like different values of stuff, so we're like that might not contribute to the gore part, so there will be a very detailed patch note that will go online that you guys will see, just like we've done with our previous ones.
So let's talk about Season 2.
Operation Breakout
So, if you guys
Season
look
Pass
at that roadmap,
แน่นอน
we're still in
มาดูสกิน
2025.
แล้วก็
We're thinking about the
ของ
rest of this year.
ของจาก Season Pass ใหม่ฮะ มีอะไรบ้าง
We're not going to talk about dates yet, but the rearmament update, our goal is to get that into your hands as soon as possible. We're playtesting that, we're balancing that, we're bug fixing that, we're really focused on working on that. But also, we've got different teams working on different things, right? So you're going to hear from Missy here in a little bit, like her team has been really focused on this. Our character art team has been really focused on this. I've been doing some writing for this with our writing team and our design team. Season 2, I'm really excited about. Season 2, Operation Breakout, has got some rad stuff in it for you. So let's go ahead and just start to dig into it. You guys have seen me tease stuff in the past. I cannot keep a secret. Like, we always make the jokes I like to break NDAs, and apparently that's like an announcement, Jared says, when I get to say it.
When you get to say it, yes. When
Yeah.
the rest of us say it, there's usually HR involved.
Yeah,
จะมีผี
exactly
ตัวใหม่
right.
ไหมเนี่ย
So,
ตอนนี้ยังฮะผมว่า
showing
น่าจะมาใน
you
อีกซีซั่นหนึ่งฮะ
this
หลังจาก
map,
อัปเดตเนี้ย
I might be a bit partial to it, is
ไอ้
the
ตัว
newest
Stalker
one.
อะเรียกว่าตัวใหม่ปะวะ
You could all play it right now
ตัว
because
Stalker แหละ
it's
ตัวใหม่อะ
rad. So let's step through the concepts for this. You've seen some of them, but you haven't seen all of them. And the other thing is, we've put this stuff online, but there's even little Easter eggs in here. I've told you guys many a times, I'm a giant comic fan. Matt Enton, our lead writer, he's another comic fan. There are references to like X-Men Days of Future Past in this one image that you guys can kind of see and pick up some kind of details where the narrative is going. And now you're going to see some new concepts that you've never seen before. And one of the things I want to talk to you about concepts are, like, that's in-game. Misty and her team will start blocking these spaces out, and then our lead concept artist, Hakab, will work with our art director, Andrew Kirshner, and basically kind of start to work on, like, how can we set dress this? How can we adjust the tone? You guys apparently like blood and guts and piles of entrails and stuff like that.
แต่พูดถึงอาวุธ3อย่างคือดูดีนะ
Right?
ดูดี
I feel this one is tough.
อาวุธใหม่อะ
We talk
M4 ก็ดูดี
about people's suit-
แต่ผมไม่มั่นใจว่าเสียงมันเป็นอย่างนั้นเปล่า
We
แต่เสียงมันก็แบบโอเคอะแต่แบบมันอาจ
Human syrup.
ไม่รู้ดิ รู้สึก Impact มันจะแบบ
I used
น้อย
to
อะ
be
ถ้าที่ผมดูอะ
making effects before
แต่ผม
I
ชอบ
was
ซองแฝด
making
กับ AK
movies,
มากเลย
and we had to look
Impact
at a lot
ดีอยู่
of really weird pictures and make a lot of dead bodies for stuff. So I'm definitely probably going to get in trouble because of the images I've sent to the team of like people melting in bathtubs and stuff like that, or like, hey, if you watch Silence of the Lambs, at this one moment you can see this one thing. So we've had very detailed conversations just about this one image, for example.
all before lunch.
Yeah. So those of you that are eating dinner streaming right now, I'm really sorry. We talk about smelling stuff. Like, one thing we noticed when we first started the game and we went to the gun range and we're like playing with guns to kind of get an idea of how they shoot and these types of things, like the thing that we noticed the second we walked into the gun range is you smelled it, right? And then for me, when I saw this, I was like, the idea of Horzine like melting prisoners in acid baths to get rid of them after torturing them, like, Misty, what would that room smell like? So yeah, we got paid to have that conversation, which was kind of weird. So sorry, HR.
So, Misty, why don't you walk us through what it'll take to bring something like prison to life and what goes into that?
Awesome. Okay, so one of the things that we do on the environment art team is we always start with blockouts. It's really important for us to make sure that we're keeping the space well for level design. We want to make sure that the space is playable, fun, and functional. We always start with the basics. As you look here, you're looking at something that's very simple. It's blocked out. This is super important for us to be able to make sure that we are building our worlds in a way that is fun but also functional. If you step through, you start to see a little bit more of a second pass. We refine these further, and we're really just making something that looks as simple as a bench, right? These things are really important for us so that they can tell more of a tale, and we can go through and kind of get them into the environment.
Yep.
And even though it seems simple, we start to put in a lot of the color blocking and establish these assets. Why I'm showing you this very simple prop is because every single layer of our game goes through this process from blocking out the environment to making sure that the assets that we are making are cool.
อันนี้ก็พูดถึงสภาพแวดล้อมแมปแล้วก็
To add in the gore,
พร็อพในเกมอะ
the horror.
Yeah.
Oh, the horror. And then, of course, as always, in this true killing floor fashion, blood, guts, entrails, gore, And this prop really does go through a process just to tell a tale. And though it may not be the most exciting and fascinating thing you've seen today, it does go through and make sure that we are giving you guys a really, really visceral experience.
When we spoke about putting this panel together, that was something Misty and I were talking about, like how do we communicate this to players? Like coming from art content, and I know there's a lot of you that might make games or want to make games or into modding, like thinking about things from a simple step process and building upon there is what I loved about these images. And then also, like you're going to see Misty's going to show you how it applies to the big picture. But what I love here is it really showcases our really talented environment art team and Misty's capabilities where even a bench in our game has like a level of love and attention where it's not just a bench, but since it's in a prison, it has these little rings where people would have been chained to it. This poor guy's spleen is spilled out there, and the way the blood texture is there.
I'm sure he's fine.
He's going to be all right. Yeah, if a medic gets over there and revives him, we'll be fine. So yeah, I love the work that Misty and her team have done.
It's super fun to be able to go through and like fill out these spaces. So why that's important is we do take those steps into consideration for every map that we build. For example, if you take a look at the images, you see a blockout that the level designers will provide to us. We get the gameplay space, they make it fun, and then it's our job to make it pretty cool and obviously, horror. Another good example of this is we got this room, it was delivered to us with 2 simple props inside of it, and they're like, it's a torture space, and they're melting bodies, and all the fun stuff. And so with this particular challenge, we were given that kind of whole, like, make it smell bad, make it visceral. And so if you see the translation of that, our team goes through and works really hard to give you guys that experience. Kind of stepping through again, this was one of my favorite shots. We were provided a blank room with a chair in it. And it was like, what is this space? What are we going to do here? And the fun part of this was the challenge of making this feel
จะบอกว่าอัปเดตนี้มันเพิ่มแมปปีซันมาด้วยมันไม่อยู่ในซีซั่น2เลยเนี่ยที่มาพร้อมกับดีเจสเกอร์ลี่อ่ะเพิ่มแมปใหม่มาแมปหนึ่ง
There's some really fun moments in this space too, because like we're kind of walking in where the door is like just behind us, and the way that light is set up, where like Dan, our lighting artist, and AK set it up, you'll see the shadow of Zeds before you see them. So it
แต่พูดถึงแมปอะแมปที่ผมคิดว่ามันได้แบบได้ฟิลสุดนะก็จะมีซิตี้สตรีทอาร์มี่ดีพอร์ตคือแสงเงาดีมากอะแสงแบบตอนที่มันฉายมาแสงสีแดงอะไรพวกเนี้ยมีเทนชั่นดีนอกนั้นเฉยๆอะแมปอื่นอะไม่ค่อยมีออร่าเท่าไหร่แมปปีซันก็ภายนอกสภาพแวดล้อมก็ฝนตกที่บอก
Yeah, if you see a zip line or a turret, it's probably a usually halfway decent holdout location.
Yeah. And then again, we wanted to go through and give you some spaces that feel a lot more of like gritty, dark horror, taking it in that direction.
There's a bunch of poop in this shot, and you just can't see it. Sorry, I said it. That was another very like weird meeting. Because Jared, what's the one stat that KF3 doesn't have?
Okay, so I know some of you out there probably know this, but for the rest of you, Killing Floor 3 is missing something that every other Tripwire developed game has. Can you guess what it is?
เวฟ
It's poop.
ระดับความยาก
It's a toilet
no one wanted to say
filled
that
with
loud.
poop.
Yeah, it's poop.
ปุ๊บเอา
Killing Floor 3 has now fixed this issue.
I have no idea why the toilet would still be full like decades later, but maybe the plumbing went first before the paint started to peel. So
I blame horseman security.
There's really like if you peek into each one of those cells, it's either like this disgusting mattress that like somebody died on, or like a really disgusting toilet. So thank you, Misty. You're very skillful.
The environment, our
The legacy continues.
We aim to please. So another holdout location. So as you kind of see through these shots, you're kind of going to
โลโก้โฮซีนภาค2ของคุณ
this facility, and we wanted to provide some interesting story. So.
Yeah, you're going to notice with this map, one of the things that's really cool is we use the.
เขาไม่ได้ใช้โลโก้ใหม่หรอวะ
Because you're starting in this jungle that's like very inspired by. Hello, sorry, I got super excited about it. It's inspired by Predator a lot, right? And then when you kind of peel that layer of the onion off and you go deeper inside, you're going to see this dilapidated prison. But if you go inside even deeper, that's when you're going to find this kind of whole cryo prison, which will lead into that Operation Breakout. We'll spoil some of that NDA here in a moment, but.
Speaking of, a lot of the things too, like we talked about building the assets, we've talked about putting them into the environment, building the gameplay space. We also like to do a lot of props and gameplay support that are like more Easter egg and storytelling. A really good example, you'll see the classic Horizine logo. This kind of helps us tell the tale that this place has been there for a while. A little throwback to that, which is nice. It'll give you a good timeline for some things that may be revealed shortly.
Yeah. Horizine's been torching people for like decades in this space, so
yeah,
it's not a friendly place.
I was going to say, who out there knew that Horizine was a bad company who did bad things?
Yeah, right?
Is that a surprise to any of you? Didn't think so. All right.
Well, it is kind of like, but I do see like there's a DJ thing, but then also somebody melting. So it's either like it's a great time for someone or like awful for someone else.
Or it's an awful time for someone very special in
Yes.
particular.
Yeah, we will spoil that in a second. We'll just say
Great.
it.
But yeah, so we do a lot of these things, and one of the cool things that we've kind of talked about is Easter eggs and those hints. Our game is very fast-paced. You're definitely usually running, trying to like and not be annihilated, working with your team. But we still like to incorporate story and give you guys some of the lore.
Misty, I heard this character in this screenshot, Bob, is one of your favorites in the entire game.
I really love Bob. The moment that I went into this environment and this character was being melted down, my team did a fantastic job. The character team did a fantastic job. Super excited.
I was going to move Bob at one point, and the team almost lost it on me. It was the first time, like, are you out of your mind? Like, yo, okay,
And then I opened up the map, and he was gone. And because we were blocking some stuff out, right? And then I was like, where did he go?
Hopefully you guys, it's like our version of Buster from Mythbusters, I think. You're just going to see Bob, like, everywhere. So you might get a weapon trinket of Bob, we'll see. So maybe he'll, maybe a medic could heal him back to reality. That guy does not look healthy, though.
He produces his own human syrup.
He does.
He's had some bad days.
Yeah, so just kind of moving forward with this, I would love to be able to show you a fly-through of the environment and showcase the hard work that the environment team has been doing. So.
This is another video made by our capture artist, Thiago, who is highlighting the work of a lot of people, from Misty and her team, our level design team. You guys previously met Chris Goodwin at the PAX East panel. You have lighting, you have art direction, you have game design. This is very much a group of people putting a lot of thought and effort into bringing this space to life. Once again, this is just a work in progress. This is not even final lighting. You're going to see us, we're doing some experimenting with weather.
Yes. Something that I think it would be kind of cool to touch on is that we are experimenting with weather in the new Killing Floor maps.
And as the preview continues, you'll see we get deeper and deeper into this facility.
Yeah, you're gonna need a tetanus shot hanging out here.
I hope you can smell how terrible this place smells.
I could assume this part of the prison may be a little bit abandoned.
Yeah, no one's really working there too much anymore these days. That guy is definitely not in the corner there, who's now a puddle. You will see some return of like barrels and pipes.
เฮ้ยแมปกว้างเลยเนี่ยปีซันเนี่ย
you enjoy in the map, everything from
มีชั้นบนชั้นล่างด้วย
I will not spoil this one, but there is a new kind of like map-specific multi-tool trap.
หลายจุดเหลือเกินนะเนื้อแมปกว้าง
I'll let you guys find that when you're able to play it. But we're always giving you different ways to kind of interact with the world and kill Zeds.
Cryopods are very special as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some secrets hidden in those.
So thank you for taking the time and listening through this. Something that I'd like to say is thank you to the environment art team for working really hard, and the tech art team. They always support us. But now that you've seen it, you guys want to see it in action.
Yeah, you guys probably just want to see gameplay, right?
You want to see?
Okay, all right. Dude, that guy.
แล้วก็โชว์เกมเพลย์
Yeah.
So once again, this is utilizing those new guns. This is running around that space. You can see how husks are still deploying in the world. You can see how dense the jungle gets, so I highly suggest turning on your flashlight. Thiago did here. You got to watch out for some of the destructible lights. Sirens can take those out. But then once again, it's kind of that risk versus reward where it's like when you go inside to some of these tighter spaces, it might be illuminated more, but you are definitely closer to the action there. See that siren's going to definitely push you deeper. That tunnel is awesome because it's got a bunch of the fire pipes, so I highly suggest utilizing that area as well.
I particularly like this space too because it feels uncomfortable, it feels gritty, it feels like you would need a tetanus shot.
Yeah.
If you go through this.
Well, like one thing that's actually really interesting is just even from a gameplay standpoint, but like we want you guys to work together when you're playing co-op, right? Like we don't want you to just run off. So like designing a space that feels uncomfortable that like I wouldn't want to just walk around that place by myself. So like Misty and her team visually creating that kind of vibe is really helpful.
So you want to bring a friend to help you explore this space, right?
You would want to bring a friend. So I think some of you guys that are fans would be very happy to see that DJ Skully is officially returning. Now, if you guys have watched our live streams, if you watch previous panels, like we have talked about this character, but I wanted to give an update on him. Literally, this character just finished their high poly mesh. That's what you see here. So this is when our modeling team, we're working with this fantastic modeler named Evgeny. Evgeny has brought this new version of DJ Skully to life. But the thing that I want to really confirm is this is DJ Skully. If you're looking at a cryo prison, maybe he didn't fall to the fates of those acid baths and become human syrup. So you have the ability to basically play as a new specialist and use that specialist with any of the perks that you have seen to this point.
I was going to say, Brian, I think we have many members in the community who will have one question they want to ask you right now then. Is Robert returning as the voice of DJ Skully?
He is. So to really reconfirm that this is the original, that voice actor has come back and is actually, I think, working right now with our lead writer, Matt Enton, recording lines. So I think you would like to respond to that one.
I just have one thing to say.
ก็คือ
Thanks, buddy.
ก็เอาเสียงคนจาก DJ Skully ในภาค 2 มาใช้อะ
We kind of like took some
ไม่ได้มาใช้เดี๋ยวเขาภาคใหม่ละ
questions from the community of what your favorite lines were.
โอเคนะ
And buddy is what you guys love about
DJ Skully ภาค 2 เสียงก็โอเคอะ ไว้ไลน์โอเคอยู่
Classic lines, there's new stuff as well. We'll talk a little bit about season 2 more in a minute. But I think the big thing is if we're giving you new specialists to play as, we also need to give you new challenges to fight against. And you guys, I feel like are speculating that the next enemy is going to be the stalker. You saw one of our animators, Caitlin, wearing the mocap suit. You saw this very feminine Zed walking around. Do you want me to just go ahead and confirm what the next Zed is going to be in season 2? Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and show you guys.
ตัวใหม่ Stalker
There it is. Dude, invisibility at its finest. This might be Electron's best
เดฟ
concept.
ตลกปะเนี่ย
All right.
โอเค Stalker มันร้องหนน่ะ
Confirm that in that jungle video, there could have been like 4 or 5 of them walking around, right? So, all right, that's
ทุกคนนี่คือตัว
Thanks so much.
Stalker นะฮะ
Good night, everyone. Sorry, that
ไม่เห็นเลย
was like awful.
เพราะมันร้องหนอยู่
Really tell him a dad, and this would not be doing Eric any sort of justice. Let's show you
ทีนี้ก็เอาเนอะ
what the new stalker looks like, right? All right. So you
อุ้ย
guys are the first people to ever see this concept publicly, and I really want to take a minute and kind of talk about it, what it means to upgrade.
นี่ของจริงแล้วของจริงละ
We really try to approach things not only from a creative design standpoint, meaning like what is the design of this enemy doing, but from a narrative standpoint as well. Like Horzine has had time to perfect these designs. So what would they have done? So everything from communicating why does she cloak? How does she cloak? And she has these little lenses in her skin that can kind of basically take a picture of this
สกินมันเหมือนหุ่นยนต์อะ
and kind of project them out. You see that the face is peeled back, showing a more menacing set of teeth. You'll even see this like giant data spike.
แต่ฟันดูน่ากลัว
The 80s
ปกติ Stalker มันไม่เปิดปากเลย
RoboCop just punch a data
แค่ลองหุ่นเฉย
Clarence Bodiger's head. We're just
นี่
like,
เพิ่ม
okay,
แบบ
we got to give her that
เพิ่ม
weapon.
ฟันให้มันใหญ่ขึ้น
Even her eyes roll back. So let's talk about when we go from the concept phase. We then go into the modeling phase. And our senior character artist, Hammy, has been working on this character and putting a lot of love and attention into bringing this monstrous creature to life. Outside of being inspired by nerdy things from the 80s and obviously the previous versions of this Zed, we're also looking at like elements of mythology. So one thing that we noticed like with having her face totally just monsterfied, it lost some of that essence from KF2. And so one of the mythology things we looked at was like a succubus. She's very curvy, she's very feminine. So at a distance, when you see her cloaked, it is this kind of like sultry figure walking towards you, but obviously she has horrible intentions and just wants to drive that data spike through your head. I didn't bring it because I don't want to spoil it too much, but like you guys have seen how certain Zeds can execute you, like where the Scrake will literally just slam his chainsaw through you and kind of just rip you in half. Dude, the Stalker execution is wild, where she basically like uncloaks, climbs on top of you, pulls out the data spike, and just shivs you like 4 times. It's aggressive. HR was definitely looking at me very weird when I was like very giddy showing that to the team. So big thanks you to Devin. Sorry, we're going to keep that one a little secret though as we continue to work on it. This was hot off the presses. Fun story. I stuck this in the deck in our last rehearsal. Like these guys didn't even know when we were rehearsing it. I saw this come online. I think it was like super late Thursday. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. It really goes with what we just showed in the Stalker. Get it in the deck like now. So big thank you, Chris Brown, one of our UI artists, getting this in the deck just really helped. This is a concept from Hakab. Hakab did a fantastic job of not only starting to explore what the Stalker looks like semi-cloaked, but the other thing that I want to point out is like, where is this?
Yeah, that was my first question. I'm like, this seems familiar, but I don't recognize the room.
Okay.
That was also my first question.
Yeah. Misty's like, who's building this space, right? So here's the cool thing about with Seasons, right? Like you guys have the list of maps that is already available to you now. You're going to get this jungle prison that you're going to be able to explore as well. But there's going to be certain maps that will also open up with new rooms, right? So this, I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be, but a part of this season assignment is looking for DJ Skully and exploring more what's going on with Quarantine and what's going on with more.
ที่เห็นในภาพก็คือมันเป็นห้องลับ
like
ตามด่านน่ะ
extra rooms to pre-existing maps on top of giving you whole new maps as well.
ให้เราเป็นแบบ R&D ลับ
Here's a combination of a new Zed
ถ้ามีห้องลับนะ
new storytelling elements that when I saw it I was just
ที่แรกผมนึกว่าแมปใหม่ในภาพนี้ไม่ใช่
I cannot just post that on
เดี๋ยวบอกว่ามันเป็นห้องลับ
my Instagram right now. Put it in the deck. We'll show everyone at PAX.
That's awesome.
ตัวละครใหม่ดีไหมครับเออเลอร์ไฮด้า05
But once again, there is a lot more to come, and
OP
this
มาก
will be the first time we're really going into some detail on it.
ตัวใหญ่จัดสต็อกเกอร์ไม่รู้ดิสต็อกเกอร์มันตัวใหญ่จัดเลยอะอาจจะเป็นแค่แฟนอาร์ตเฉยๆก็ได้มันเป็นแบบเป็นแค่อาร์ตเฉยๆอะไม่ใช่แฟนอาร์ตดิเป็นแค่แบบอาร์ตเฉยๆในเกมจริงอาจจะเป็นตัวเล็กก็ได้สต็อกเกอร์
I know you guys data mine stuff. You found the Bloodwing. It needed more time in the oven, right? There's stuff out there. We're cooking up at a lot of different stuff. So with that being said about the future, let's look at what 2026 is working on as well. I've made this reference a lot. I'm a giant comic book.
อันนี้คือทั้งหมดของที่จะอัปเดตนี้แล้วนะก็คืออาวุธใหม่3อย่างแมปใหม่แมปหนึ่งผมไม่แน่ใจว่ามันเพิ่มแมปพีซันกับตัวละครดีเจมาด้วยหรือเปล่านะอันนี้ไม่แน่ใจเหมือนกันแต่หลักคืออาวุธใหม่3อย่างมาแน่มอดอาวุธใหม่
In our supply pass, we are working
on
adding. Now, you guys know we have like our paid supply pass, and then we also have the free track. You simply play the game, and you can access that, and it is cosmetic-only items. Well, one of the things that we're working on is a comic book system that will be a part of that free track as well. So if you guys want to know more about the lore and the world that we're building, that's what this comic book provides us with, right?
ว้าวทิปไว้พี่แกทำคอมิกด้วยว่ะคอมิก Killing Floor เห็นเคยทำตั้งแต่ภาค2แล้วก็เลิกทำไป
So you see Nakata, you see Mr. Foster, and Devlin, the 3 original, and how did they basically size up against the first time they ever fought against the Impaler? So I'm just really excited getting these comics in front of you. If you guys remember, like in the 90s, there were these Kenner alien action figures, and they would come with like a little Dark Horse comic inside of them. I'm really dating myself here. So any other 40-year-olds out there, you'll be excited about that. That's where this inspiration came from. So once again, this will be in the free track. You guys will have access to this, and it just helps build that world and build that lore.
But Brian, what about new perks?
กันสลิงเกอร์อุ้ยดีเซอร์เกิลมันไม่ใส่ไฟล์เลยเว้ยดีเซอร์อะตอนแรกผมว่ามันจะมีดีเซอร์เกิลแบบว่าสกิน RGB อะไรพวกเนี้ยโอเคโมเดิร์นดี เสียงเกินอันนี้ปืนอะไรอะ M191 ป่ะ AF มาฮะ AF คัมแบ็กด้วย
Trying to fire that one. So yeah,
ปืน
big
AF
props
ก็
to our weapons
ดูดี
team.
อยู่
They've really brought those to life. I've seen very early animations that are looking awesome of just reloading while dual wielding your gunslinger. I think you guys are going to be really happy when that perk comes out in the near future.
And new locations.
So we've teased
Arctic
Arctic
Station.
Once again, dating myself. Big John Carpenter fan. I love the thing. It's one of the reasons why I do this. Misty, you actually have teammates working on this right now already, right?
Correct, yeah, we have this map in development. We try to keep multiple maps in development. Similar thing, we've got traps that are being
All new
made.
traps. If you needed a giant laser to cook Zeds, we got you covered.
Working on that.
And then, so once again, you guys have seen some of these earlier concepts, but
Wow.
no one has seen any of these. And especially this next image.
เอ้ยเหมือนชอบเลยเหมือนด่านไอซ์เคฟเลยในภาคหนึ่งอะ
And I just want
อารมณ์
to
แบบ
say
นี้
big
เลย
thanks to our CEO, Matt. He was very much like, you have to show this. I'm not going to explain anything about it. Very, 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 very little. Like I joked about you guys data mining, and you found stuff like the Bloodwing. You started to try to uncover what is the Dread Zone. You've heard stuff about the Rook. You heard stuff about the Scavenger. All I'm going to say is, when you guys look at that roadmap and it said new Zed and it said new enemies, we want to introduce a new faction into the game, right? There's going to be this war between Nightfall and Horzine, and then what is Emmanuel Moorcroft doing? What is he doing with Meyer? What are these new enemies? Where have they come from? Do they fight with Horzine? Do they fight with Nightfall? We're going to leave that kind of ambiguous right now, but I think this image right here does a very good job of just kind of starting to tease what the future of Killing Floor 3 could look like.
Don't melt the ice.
Yeah, no, if that thing melted, I have a feeling that it could still do a good bit of damage just based on its scale alone. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see all of the YouTube videos out there that are speculating what this is. I will just give you one last little thing of saying cosmic horror. Start looking into that. If you have never been exposed to Lovecraft or things like that, or things older than time, it can get pretty friggin' terrifying.
So, with that being said, we've got some time to take questions from you, and I believe
โอ้โห
you have
นึกว่าจะสปอย
some mics on either side of the
ส
room.
ปอยเซตตัวใหม่คือรออ่ะเขาบอกว่าไอตอนแรกที่แบบเราเป็นกลุ่มไนท์ฟอร์ใช่ไหมเรากำลังสู้กับฝั่งของโฮโลซีนน่ะทีนี้เขาบอกว่าไออัปเดตไอเนี้ยมันจะมีอีกฝ่ายหนึ่งที่ไม่ใช่แค่ไนท์ฟอร์กับโฮโลซีนเป็นฝ่ายที่อยู่ขั้นกลางระหว่างไนท์ฟอร์กับโฮโลซีนซึ่งไอฝั่งเนี้ยอาจจะสู้กับไนท์ฟอร์ด้วยอาจจะสู้กับโฮโลซีนด้วยสองฝั่งโอ้นู่นจะสปอยก็คือมีศัตรูตัวใหม่เข้ามาซึ่งก็ไม่รู้เป็นตัวอะไรเหมือนกันเพทริอาร์เหรอก็เป็นไปได้นะพูดถึงอะเพทริอาร์ก็แบบก็โดนโฮซีนไล่ออกมาแล้วแล้วก็ไม่ถูกกับพวกฟอร์เตอร์แล้วอะก็เป็นได้รอใหม่เลยฮะบอกว่าเกมปรับให้ดีตอนนี้ผมยังไม่ได้ซื้อผมว่าแบบจะซื้อต่อลดราคารอก่อนครับรอก่อนตอนนี้คือแบบพูดตรงว่ายังแย่อยู่อะยังบั๊กอยู่อะเซิร์ฟเวอร์ด้วยคือตอนนี้ผมเล่นออนไลน์ไม่ได้อะมันอยู่ดีก็แบบตอนจอยห้องอะหน้าล็อบบี้มันชอบค้างเล่นไม่ค่อยได้ตอนนี้ performance ยังแย่อยู่เอเลี่ยนหรือพวกหุ่นยนต์เปล่าโอ้ขออย่าเป็นพวกหุ่นยนต์เลยครับผมไม่เอาละถ้าหุ่นยนต์นี่คือแบบมันไม่ใช่ killing floor อะผมว่าแต่ถ้าเป็นตัวละครดาก็ว่าไปอย่างแต่แบบถ้าเป็นศัตรูหุ่นยนต์มันไม่น่าใช่ killing floor แล้วถ้าเป็นเอเลี่ยนก็โอเคนะผมว่า
So if you needed to shoot something and then stab it, you'll have that capability.
Sounds perfect.
Awesome.
That
cool.
works for me.
Yeah, you definitely seem like he has run into I need to be able to shoot and stab at the same time.
It's my gameplay style too.
Hello, I have a two-part question.
Cool.
Are you doing a Halloween event?
ดร. เพเทียร์อาจจะปักยาเสร็จแล้วก็ควบคุมด้วยการควบคุมก็เป็นได้นะเพราะว่าเพเทียร์ถ้าผมเดาอะตัวใหม่อะเพเทียร์ก็เป็นเซตประเภทไมเออร์เดาอะไรเงี้ย
KF3. Where's Horzine going? Where's Nightfall going? Where's Dr. Emmanuel Moorcroft going? But I will tell you, we have a very early level design block out and a whole creative intent written on our first seasonal update. When that will happen, we're still working on that. And I don't want to totally spoil it, but it is definitely very different from what you've seen and definitely a new take
แต่ตอนเนี้ย
on those seasonal
ผมอยากรู้ว่าแพทจะมาวันไหน ผมอยากรู้แค่อย่างเดียวเลย
And then the second part, content creator.
ผมรอฟังเขาก่อน
We have some Twitch drop stuff in the works for these later updates coming.
โอเคอุ้ยมีทวิตดรอปด้วยนะครับทุกคน
Great, thank you.
ในอัปเดตครั้งต่อไปจะมี Killing Floor 3ทวิตดรอปด้วย
I just have a quick question.
ในที่สุด
I was watching a lot of the gameplay you guys were showing, and I noticed a lot more consistent resource drops from Zed kills.
Yeah.
Is that coming in a new quality of life?
So actually, if you look at even we had a hot fix, what was it, like Wednesday?
I was going to say, it's like
the 27th.
3 days ago.
Yeah, that update already has, like, we've seen you guys are still wanting a little more biosteel, but there's been a decent pass at that. And once again, every time we add a new gun, every time we add a new Zed or a new map, it's like this giant thing of jello. And when you jiggle it, it kind of all jiggles. So yeah, like we'll constantly be working with our design teams. Like they do a fantastic job of looking at your guys' feedback and being like, players are getting too much of this, not enough of this. How do we balance that out? So yeah, that recent hot fix, if you haven't played recently, jump on. You might be able to get a little more biosteel. The Vulcan hasn't been adjusted yet, so maybe you can use that and get even a little more. Don't spam it too much, but yeah,
yes.
we'll keep adjusting that.
You can expect a lot more balance updates, even in our hot fixes and in the larger updates that are coming.
เกี่ยวกับเอเลี่ยนเพราะว่าดรฮาเนี่ยทดลองเขาเกี่ยวกับปัญหาแมนซีเก่าเทคโนโลยีแตกต่าง
Yeah, sounds
ก็
good.
แต่ภาค2
Yeah, thank you.
Just a quick question. I was just wondering why there's no well.
ใช่มันมีเขาเรียกว่าอะไรถ้าคุณไปเล่นด่านในภาค2มันชื่อว่าด่านว่าอะไรวะที่มันด่านเซนิทาเรียมเซนิทาเรียมแล้วก็ด่านอะไรนะของลืมชื่อแล้ววะมันเป็นด่านของบอสฮานเลยถ้าด่านเซนิทาเรียมนั้นก็มันจะมีฉากเหมือนเอเลี่ยนแล้วจะมีเทนตาเคิลใช่ไหมก็เป็นได้นะ
So it kind of almost acts as like a little mini welder. And there's also
เพราะผมจะได้ว่าเดฟเขาคอนเฟิร์มนะว่าช่วงที่อัปเดตด่านเซนิทาเรียมมันจะมีตัวคล้ายคาเคนโผล่มาแล้วก็จะมีกับดักให้กดอะไรเงี้ยมีเทนตาเคิลเนี่ยผมว่าเป็นได้นะทฤษฎีเกี่ยวกับเอเลี่ยนเขาพูดถึงความเสถียรของเซิร์ฟยังครับยังเลยครับเขาพูดแต่คอนเทนต์แบบคอนเทนต์ที่จะอัปเดตในภาพรวมมาคุณพวกบัคฟิกพวกแก้เซิร์ฟพวกปรับบาลานซ์บัฟเนิร์ฟไม่ได้พูดเลยครับเท่าที่ผมฟังมา
Okay. So I'll be happy to tell you that you may have recently seen a musical themed demon hunting.
น่าเสียดายนะผมอยากฟังว่าเขาจะปรับเนิร์ฟบูแคนปะอย่างเดียวเลยเนิร์ฟบูแคนพลีสปรับบาลานซ์อาวุธใหม่เซิร์ฟคุณแก้ยังปักหน้าล็อบบี้คุณแก้ยังอะไรเงี้ยเพราะว่าในงานก็คงไม่พูดหรอกเพราะว่าเขาเข้างานในแพ็กเวสน่าจะเป็นงานใหญ่ไม่น่าพูดแบบตรงดีเทลอะไรมาก
Yeah, so I can actually just totally break NDA and tell you about a bunch of different stuff that we got planned. I also used to do character art, so I
don't want to spoil too much ยังไม่เริ่ม
look in a game, right? It's really important that
มันพยายามเกินให้แบบคนดูแบบว่าจะพยายามไม่สปอยนะเดี๋ยวติด NDA
we want to try different themes, right? We want to give you guys options. So like we've given you some weapons that are very grounded in reality, like that you just saw. We've given you some near future weapons. We've given you stuff that look like laser guns. Basically, there are options for you. We want to do that same thing with our character art. There are also very early sketches and ideas for universal cosmetics so that any of the specialists could wear a very particular thing. That's very similar to stuff that we've seen in KF2. There's stuff with the Arctic map that character art is also doing some very themed skins that would fit within that space. So like for me, I love kind of like role playing when I play a game. So it's like if Misty and I were going on a mission to the Arctic research station, I would put on that like Arctic camo and stuff like that. We'll probably be sharing some stuff. We're going to be doing, actually, Mason, one of our marketing guys are out here. We're going to be doing more frequent streams, like what you saw Jared and I do recently. And we're going to do some pretty art-centric ones that'll be similar to this, where we'll be alluding to what you'll see in the future. The big thing I would say is we're going to look for options for players, right? Just giving you a variety of different ways to express yourself on the battlefield.
And I do want to add that any of those continuing credits that you've earned can be applied immediately to the next pass when it drops.
Awesome. Yeah, and there's like no FOMO with our supply pass either, right? So like if you guys come in a year later and you wanted to go through all the supply passes, you're more than welcome to. And once again, there is a free track, and then you have one that is just paid but cosmetic only.
And then the other quick question is, how are you guys feeling with the balancing for the boss waves? Because there's still a lot of controversy with the Impaler, for example.
Totally agree.
They're being worked on.
Yeah, I might have been one shot by the Queen Crawler the other day.
Shot.
That was
เดฟ
like, okay, we gotta balance that one. But
เพิ่งรู้ว่าเดฟ
team like everything in the game is
ใส่เกราะโม่ยังไม่รอดเจอ Queen Cover ตบทีเดียวล่วง
playing with you guys online as well, and then our community team does a fantastic job of taking feedback as well, and just once again kind of like looking at all of it, looking at our internal play tests, looking at play tests with partners, and just kind of valuing that feedback to kind of get the perfect balance.
Awesome, good to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
ก็
you.
จะมีการปรับบาลานซ์ใหม่นะฮะ
I appreciate
เท่า
it.
ที่ฟัง
Thank you for the support. Thanks for being out.
The guy on the other mic can go first.
Oh, what's up? Hey there.
Hello.
Thank you.
I like how you definitely deferred to the guy with the sword. Like, the guy with the sword can go next.
Will Badass Santa make a return for the holidays?
I am not totally sure about that. I will say that we are exploring, even in seasonal updates, when we get to that point, what do cosmetics look like then? I will say there is a Bad Santa Easter egg in the game if you haven't found it yet.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. Yeah, we're definitely tipping our hats when it's.
ทำไมมีแต่คนอยากได้ตัวละครเป็นแอสซันต้าแต่คนเห็นคนชอบเล่นเยอะนะในภาค2ตัวละครไอตัวซันต้าคนชอบ
The short question is that I've noticed that we have done like 5 rounds plus a boss wave. Is there any sort of like future endeavor where we're going to go back to like the KF2 where you had your 4, 7, and 10 rounds?
นี่เขาถามดีมาก
being worked on right now.
In fact, there's a poll that I need to push out more widely that asks you, the players, what you would like to see more quickly. Longer amounts of rounds or more amounts of difficulties.
And then my second question is more of like, it's a personal matter between me and my group that plays KF3.
Cool.
We've kind of gotten to a point where we've found our hold spots and have our strategies. And it's gotten to a point where it feels like we don't need the field medic that much. So
okay.
Field medic has felt very underused, and the only point we've needed a field medic is when things have gone completely foobar and there is already no hope of recovery.
Yeah.
So like, is there any plans to try to make field medic be more, I'm not sure, like versatile or powerful, or just be able to be used more?
I think for me, looking at some of the balance changes that I've seen, like the biomorphic projector and stuff like that, like there was a pass done very early on where a lot of the guns had like a default healing element to it. That once again, I think our design team will kind of keep their eye on the prize and how do we, every time, like when we add a new perk, what are we going to have to do to the other perks and things like that.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we might only be able to do one more quick question and then we have
ที่เขาถามเรื่องนี้เนี่ยมันมีคนถามนึงว่ามันจะมีปรับเวฟแบบ4เวฟ7เวฟหรือ10เวฟเหมือนภาค2เปล่าเมื่อกี้ผมฟังอาจจะฟังไม่ทันด้วยเหมือนเดฟเขาตอบไม่เคลียร์ด้วย
sticker packs so that you guys are here anything like that feel free to stick around
เท่ากลับมา5เวฟมันน่าเบื่อ
let's do another question and then we'll do our
เล่นแบบเวฟยาวๆ
I hate to be the last question for this. Played a lot of Killing Floor 1, a lot of Killing Floor 2. Ninja's cool.
Okay.
I've heard talks that Zerker is coming back. Is there anything at all you can tell me, maybe 2026, or should I just keep waiting and praying?
I would say our main focus is for 2026 as a new perk goes is Gunslinger. Gunslinger is a wild amount of work. So when you just animation-wise, like having to handle reloads in 2 hands and that whole thing, our big thing was like, if you guys aren't aware, like the martial artist was one of the perks that was supposed to be added for KF2. So we knew we wanted to do classic returning perks, but also new perks for KF3. And that's one of the things that moved Ninja over Zerker. And we did a live stream where we did kind of confirm this a little bit. the team's focus is on Gunslinger. But from a creative standpoint, what our thought is on a Berserker and the Ninja is one is very slice and dice, and one is very smash and go, right? Like if you want to cut someone's head off, go Ninja. If you want to smash someone's head in, that's where Berserker is going to go.
And I do
Okay.
really badly.
We will make sure that you are able to do that. Yeah, we've had many conversations, and like it's funny, there's times that we want to take polls. I don't think we need to take a poll that a lot of people want Berserker after Gunslinger, so we got you. All right, let's do a raffle.
สายเบอร์เซอร์เกอร์ก็
What are we raffling off here?
จะตามมาหลังจากที่การซินเกอร์ออก
Awesome stuff from our friends at Alien.
ให้เดา
And a couple Killing Floor 3
โอเคหมดละทุกคน
press kits with some awesome like swag.
ก็เดี๋ยวผมกลับไปฟังอีกรอบนึงบางทีผมจะตกหล่นไปเยอะเลยแหละถ้าที่ผมฟังมาตกหล่นไปเยอะเดี๋ยวผมจะทำคลิปสรุปแล้วก็โพสต์รูปกลุ่ม Facebook ด้วยว่ามีอะไรบ้างผมจะฟังอีกรอบนึงแล้วหลักก็ประมาณนี้ลองเข้าไปดูย้อนหลังได้แต่ที่ผมชอบคือเรื่องอาวุธนะอาวุธ3อย่างนี้คือดีมากซองแฝดผมว่า Impact ดีแต่งเป็นซองแฝด4รูได้แต่ถ้าที่ผมดูตอนเล่นซองแฝด4รูมันเหมือนยิงได้แค่ทีละ2นัดมันไม่ได้ยิงแบบ4นัดทีเดียวยิงแค่ทีละ2นัดแบบมากสุดนี่ต้องดูก่อนแคททวิตบอก1 สายอาชีพต่อปีผมว่ามันนานเกินเว้ยปีหน้ากันสลิงปี2027เบอร์เซอร์เกอร์อย่างเงี้ยเหรอกว่าจะรอแต่ละสายเนี่ยให้ครบคนน่าจะหนีไปเล่นเกมอื่นหมดแล้วช่วงนี้
Trent, can you tell everybody what they'll win in the Mystery Killing Floor 3 press box?
There's an awesome giant KF3 mouse mat in there. There's socks. There are some socks.
A little lunchbox.
Yeah, there's
ของเอเลียนแวร์อยากได้
Yeah, there's some fun stuff in this one.
Yeah, this is
a med kit.
ไฮเอ็น
I'm looking for 2380. And for our last and final prize, the same press kit.
All right, here's the last one. Who needs Killing Floor socks? I love that that's the amount of hand socks.
All right. 2333, repeating forever.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
ชั่วโมงนึงพอดี
Can everybody give Brian a round of applause for being such a gracious prize distributor?
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. All joking aside, like I love that you guys came out. Those of you that are online, but yeah, spending your time with us, playing the game with us. As Jared said earlier, like we are incredibly committed to continuing to build this game with you guys. It's been awesome, and we cannot thank you enough. Am I going to get teary-eyed? I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, seriously, thank you guys so much. Thank you to the team at Tripwire. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you once again. I can only echo what Brian said. Keep your feedback coming. Keep your reports coming. We know there's things that aren't as ideal as they should be. We're working on them. Help us help you. And we'll keep working towards some awesome new content as Brian and Misty have done a great job of showing us of what's coming in the near future and the not so near future.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll be hanging around outside too for a little bit. I know we had a few questions, so feel free to grab any of us. And thank you so much.
Bye.
โอเคจบละวุฒิใหม่แล้วก็75บัคฟิกใช่ผมเห็นอยู่เขาว่าซีซั่น2เนี่ยเขาจะมีการแก้บัคแล้วก็ปรับบาลานซ์เนิร์ฟเยอะมาก75อย่างก็รอดูครับแต่ว่าตอนนี้อาการน่าห่วงมากภาค3คนเล่นน้อยจริงนะตอนนี้บางห้องไปจอยก็ไม่เต็มห้องแถมออนไลน์ก็มีบั๊กด้วยโอเคก็ ตามนี้ครับเดี๋ยวผมไปทำคลิปสรุปก่อนแล้วก็เดี๋ยวก็เดี๋ยวสรุปให้ฟังอีกทีหนึ่งนะเดี๋ยวลงในกลุ่ม Facebook ด้วยโอเคตอนนี้ผมว่าจะ8:30แล้วขอตัวไปทำธุระส่วนตัวลงสตรีมตอนนี้เลยสตรีมสั้นๆครับไม่มีอะไรมากวันนี้โอเคครับแล้วเจอกันตอนช่วงเย็นฮะช่วงเย็นเดี๋ยวก็จะเล่น Killing Floor ภาค 1แล้วก็มี Killing Floor 3มาปรับปลายนี่ฮะประมาณนี้เดี๋ยวไปทำสรุปก่อน